Philomena Mwilu serves as the Deputy Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Kenya, a position of immense authority and responsibility. However, despite holding this senior office, she found herself at the center of controversy in 2024 after exceeding her constitutional mandate. During that year, she constituted a three-judge bench to hear petitions connected to the impeachment of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, even though the authority to impanel such a bench is reserved exclusively for the Chief Justice. Earlier in her career, Mwilu made history in August 2018 when she became the first sitting Deputy Chief Justice in Kenya to be arrested. At the time, she was charged over allegations of receiving improper benefits linked to dealings with Imperial Bank, as well as accusations of failing to pay taxes on certain financial transactions. Beyond her professional life, her personal relationship with Amos Wako has consistently drawn public attention. The relationship has frequently been debated during judicial vetting processes and referenced in court proceedings, particularly in situations where concerns were raised about her impartiality. Against this backdrop of power, controversy, and public scrutiny, the question often arises, who is Philomena Mwilu? This is her story. Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu was born on April 15, 1957, in the Kilala location of Kaiti Division in what is today Makueni County. Raised in a rural setting, her early life was shaped by discipline, resilience, and a strong commitment to education. Although detailed public records about her biological parents and siblings are not widely documented, her background from Makueni County has often been referenced in her public life, particularly in relation to her mentorship of young legal professionals and her advocacy for access to justice. She received her secondary education at Alliance Girls High School, one of Kenya's most prestigious institutions for girls, where she developed an early interest in leadership and public service. After completing her secondary studies, she enrolled at the University of Nairobi, where she pursued a Bachelor of Laws (LLB) degree. In 1984, she was admitted as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya, marking the formal beginning of a legal career that would span more than 3 decades. Lady Justice Mwilu later returned to the University of Nairobi for postgraduate studies, earning a Master of Laws (LLM) degree in 2018. She is also recorded as having pursued doctoral studies, culminating in a Doctor of Philosophy (PhD) at the same institution. Her academic journey reflects a lifelong commitment to legal scholarship alongside professional practice. Before joining the judiciary, Mwilu built a diverse legal career across both the private and public sectors. She worked in private law firms and held senior legal and corporate positions at institutions such as Jubilee Insurance Company. She later served in key regulatory and quasi-judicial roles, including at the Electricity Regulatory Board and the Energy Tribunal. Her experience also extended to public utilities through her work with the Nairobi Water and Sewerage Company. Within the judiciary, she served as Judiciary Ombudsman and as a Commissioner of the Judicial Service Commission, roles that placed her at the heart of judicial administration and accountability. Her judicial career formally began in 2007 when she was appointed Judge of the High Court of Kenya. In 2012, she was elevated to the Court of Appeal. Her rise culminated in October 2016 when she was appointed Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court of Kenya. In this capacity, she became one of the most senior judicial officers in the country. Between January and May 2021, she served as Acting Chief Justice during the transition period following the retirement of Chief Justice David Maraga and before the appointment of Chief Justice Martha Koome. By 2025, her legal career had spanned more than 38 years. In recognition of her service to the nation, she was awarded Elder of the Order of the Golden Heart, EGH, on December 12, 2024. In her personal life, Lady Justice Mwilu is the spouse and long-term partner of Amos Wako, Kenya's longest-serving Attorney General, who held office from 1991 to 2011 and later served as the first senator for Busia County. The two reportedly met around 1997 when Mwilu was working in the corporate sector and Wako was Attorney General. Their relationship later became a matter of public discussion, particularly during judicial vetting and in court proceedings where questions of impartiality were raised. Mwilu has consistently stated that the relationship was never hidden and did not compromise her judicial independence. During her vetting for the position of Deputy Chief Justice in 2016, she addressed questions about polygamy, acknowledging that she was often described as Wako's second wife. She stated publicly that she had no objection to polygamy, provided there was peaceful coexistence within the family. She is a mother of 4 children, though public reports vary slightly on biological details, with some sources indicating that she had 3 children prior to her relationship with Wako. As of 2025, Lady Justice Mwilu's exact net worth has not been publicly disclosed, as wealth declaration forms for Kenyan public officials are confidential.
Nonetheless, her financial standing has been the subject of public scrutiny due to her senior judicial salary and issues raised during past investigations. She earns an estimated gross monthly salary of approximately Kenya shillings 1.23 million, comprising a basic salary of about Kenya shillings 898,535 and allowances totaling roughly Kenya shillings 335,000 for her roles as Deputy Chief Justice and Vice President of the Supreme Court. Investigations conducted in 2018 reported that she owned multiple properties, including at least 7 houses in Nairobi's Kilimani area, with locations along Agwings Kodek Road and off Ndemi Road, as well as additional property in Athi River. The same investigations highlighted significant bank transactions amounting to approximately Kenya shillings 320.6 million between 2013 and 2016. Among the transactions cited was a property deal in which land allegedly purchased for Kenya shillings 2.8 million was later sold for about Kenya shillings 75 million. She was also linked to real estate investments financed through loans from institutions such as Imperial Bank, with borrowing at one point reportedly reaching Kenya shillings 100 million for property acquisitions in areas like Lavington. Throughout her tenure, Lady Justice Mwilu has been a central figure in several high-profile legal and ethical controversies. One of the most recent involved the impeachment process of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua between 2024 and 2025. In October 2024, she empaneled a 3-judge bench to hear cases related to the impeachment. In May 2025, the Court of Appeal ruled that she lacked constitutional authority to constitute such a bench, stating that the power was reserved for the Chief Justice. Following the ruling, a petition was filed at the Judicial Service Commission seeking her removal for alleged gross misconduct and usurpation of authority. In August 2025, the JSC rejected the petition, clearing her of wrongdoing and concluding that although she had overstepped, she acted in good faith due to legal ambiguity surrounding her powers at the time. Earlier, between 2018 and 2021, she faced serious corruption and tax evasion allegations. In August 2018, she became the first sitting Deputy Chief Justice in Kenya to be arrested, facing charges related to alleged improper benefits linked to Imperial Bank dealings and failure to pay taxes on certain transactions. In 2019, a 5-judge bench of the High Court quashed the criminal charges, ruling that the evidence used against her had been illegally obtained. Subsequent efforts by the Director of Public Prosecutions and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations to pursue her removal through the Judicial Service Commission were blocked by the High Court in 2021, with the court citing violations of the doctrine of separation of powers. Her relationship with Amos Wako has also repeatedly been cited as a potential conflict of interest. During her 2016 vetting, she was questioned about disclosure of the relationship, and she maintained that it did not affect her impartiality. At various times, individuals and groups have called for her recusal from cases involving Wako or his political associates, though she has consistently defended her ability to remain objective and independent. In early 2021,
a Meru High Court judge issued orders temporarily barring her from acting as Chief Justice or performing her duties as Deputy Chief Justice due to pending integrity cases. Those orders were later suspended, allowing her to resume her responsibilities during the leadership transition at the judiciary. Despite sustained scrutiny and controversy, Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu remains one of the most prominent figures in Kenya's judicial history, defined by a long legal career, landmark appointments, and a public life that has consistently placed her at the center of national legal and constitutional debates.